Alright, what's going on, everybody? So this weekend we got Jamahal versus Khalil Rountree, which is honestly a sick matchup. So I'll be giving keys to victory for both fighters and overall breaking down how I think the fight's gonna go. Real quick, before I get into the video, 96% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you like UFC, Misfits boxing, or pro boxing content, I post 3 to 4 times a week on this channel at least, so make sure you guys subscribe. I appreciate you. And by the way, don't let the jersey get you twisted. I'm a Lions fan for life. I just like Peyton Manning too. Alright, first, let's get to the tail of the tape. Jamahal is 34 years old. He is 6'3", 205 pounds, and he has a 79-inch reach. Those are some long-ass arms. Khalil Rountree, he is 35 now. 6'1", 205 also, because it's weight limit, obviously. And he has 67.5-inch reach, which I don't really think will matter, which I'll get to in a second. I really do feel bad for Jamahal because I feel like he is underrated and he's overhated in UFC. He isn't bad by any means because he can box very well in both stances. He has very good hand speed. He has good power. Very good power, I should say. Every time he lands, it seems to affect the person that he's landing on all the time. The only problem with Jamahal is he really loops his shots over, and it's not very tight boxing. I know it's UFC and they're not expected to have very tight boxing, but you know who does have very tight boxing? Khalil Rountree. Now, we have seen in the Alex Pereira fight that he is one of the better kickboxers in the UFC because he was really giving Alex Pereira problems in that fight. And we have seen this issue in multiple fights with Jamahal where he gets hit a bit too much just because how he throws his punches and his counter punches. They are very loopy, and even though they do land very well at times, there's just too much openings there for him to get caught. That's why he got dropped by Yuri Prohaska and he ended up getting finished. And obviously against Alex Pereira, he had a loss of focus after the low blow and he just got clipped. He has a bad habit of using his length for defense, just trying to frame out, not really protecting his head at all. It seems to be a common problem for him. And in a fight with Khalil Rountree where he's going to be blitzing in, is going to be very dangerous for him. Because Khalil Rountree has some serious power and he can get to you quick in the blink of an eye because he moves very fast. Some sort of cult energy that he has channels into his striking. It just seems like it because if you guys don't know, he's in a cult with Dominic Cruz, which is very odd, but that's not the topic of the video. So I'm going to move on before I get people showing up at my house or some shit like that. He doesn't only have power, he has some of the most vicious ground and pound I've ever seen, basically looking like he's trying to kill the person in the octagon. It's pretty crazy. But before I give my overall predictions and how Before I give my overall predictions on how I think this fight's going to go, I'm going to give key to victories for both fighters. Now, for Khalil Rountree, you definitely use your footwork because he is usually bouncing on the outside, circling during his fights, looking for an opportunity to blitz in. He isn't the type to just blitz in for no reason. He is pretty patient, and he really saves up his power for big moments. And he definitely should circle around. If you're being a little bit too elusive, I could maybe see Jamahal trying to take him down. We have seen in the past that Khalil Rountree has some good takedown defense, so he might be able to deal with that. We'll see. But I don't even think that's the type of fight it will be, to be honest. I think this will be a striking matchup. I could just see if the footwork being too much for Jamahal, he might rely on it, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't necessarily see it. Because Jamahal is pretty plotty. He doesn't move very fast. He's very patient with his striking. And Khalil Rountree is going to be moving a lot more. So if I'm Khalil Rountree, I'm circling a lot, hitting and moving as much as possible until you can find the shot that you think can knock him out. For Jamahal, I would say kick the legs because Jamahal has very good leg kicks, and I think Khalil Rountree is going to be circling around the octagon a lot regardless, so you got to target those legs, make sure his movement is a little bit more labored, and maybe push him up against the cage if you're not going to wrestle, make it physical, clinching, making the fight a lot more closer in proximity, because at range is probably where Khalil Rountree is going to work, because Jamahal isn't really one to work at his jab for a very long time. He is more so uses kicks to get close type of person, body kicks, low kicks, all of that type of things. Yeah, I would say that if you want to be Jamahal in this fight, if you want to land your big shots, you have to get close. You shouldn't try to jab step into a shot because I think Khalil Rountree would just get to the shot faster, and that won't be good for Jamahal. But you really don't want to count out Jamahal's power because he has one-punch power in both hands. His ability to be able to box in both stances is very valuable, and The only reason why I just feel so uncertain about Jamahal Hill winning this fight is just because the movement of Khalil Rountree. He's not going to be there to be hit most of the fight. Jamahal Hill is going to have to be chasing him around the octagon. And when you're chasing somebody that is going to blitz, it makes it a lot harder to react when you're moving forward into it because you're just going right into the momentum of their blitz, which could be very bad. Now, passed by my house at 100 miles per hour. There definitely isn't a speed limit and families on the street, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, how I think this fight is going to go. Like I've said this entire time, I think that the movement is going to be the main factor in this fight. I think Jamahal Hill is going to struggle finding Khalil Rountree. I think it's going to be a good fight. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Jamahal Hill is going to get fucked up by any means. But I feel like most of Jamahal Hill's success is going to be his body and leg kicks. I think he's going to really struggle to find Jamal Rountree, Khalil Rountree upstairs. So I could potentially see Jamahal Hill outscoring Khalil Rountree in early rounds. And as the fight goes on and Khalil Rountree gets his momentum and his movement more into it, I think he'll start winning. Man, I really don't want to predict the finish for Jamahal Hill because I would feel bad just because he's gotten finished so often recently. And like I said, he's so overhated and so underrated in the UFC. I just feel like this is a bad matchup for him also. He keeps taking fights that aren't great for him, so we got to respect him for that regardless. He could take a fight they feel like he could win. He could have declined the Khalil Rountree fight, but he didn't. He's going for it. And if he were to win this, he's right back in it, at least at the top. Even though it's not like a title shot or a contender thing. Maybe like 2 or 3 more wins after Khalil Rountree, he could maybe try to get another title shot. Because he has won against Glover Teixeira. He's shown in that fight that he has some good takedown defense. I don't think Khalil Rountree will necessarily go for that in this fight. Because especially since he has such an advantage and speed advantage on the feet. I just don't really see it. This is probably one of the more confident shots that I've called in the history of my channel. Even though I say I don't want to predict Jamahal Hill getting finished, I do think that's exactly what's going to happen because we've seen it with Yuri and we've seen it a bunch of different times in his career. When Jamahal Hill loops over that counter shot, he is wide open for a straight punch. And what is Khalil Rountree's best punch most likely? His straight left. So I could definitely see Khalil Rountree catching Jamahal Hill with a straight left later in the fight. I would say rounds 3 or 4, I would call it. Jamahal Hill would try to wing a counter shot and he's going to get caught. And I think he's going to get caught with some nasty ground and pound at the end. And we've seen it with Khalil Rountree. He is very creative and very psychotic with his ground and pound. So I think that's how the fight's going to end. My prediction is Khalil Rountree is going to TKO Jamahal Hill. And rounds 3 or 4, I would give you an exact round. And I'm going to say 3 or 4. I think 4. If he gets done out in 3 rounds, Jamahal Hill is going to be in a very bad spot in the UFC. Don't get me wrong. But I hope he gets a better matchup for him if that's the case. Don't get me wrong, because I actually like Jamahal Hill. He's a Lions fan like me, even though I'm not from Michigan. I'm from Massachusetts. Oh, you're not a Patriots fan from Massachusetts? I know, it makes so much sense, right? But anyways, yeah. Besides the fact Jamahal Hill is a Lions fan, I'm going to have to go against him here, unfortunately. Even though Khalil Rountree is low-key a weird guy, I just think he's better at fighting, so it doesn't really matter. Those are my predictions for Jamahal Hill versus Khalil Rountree. If you guys disagree with any of my takes, please let me know down below. If there's any other factors in the fight that you think I'm missing out on, any key strikes, key moves, how you think the fight's going to unfold, please debate with me in the comments. I'm never offended by it, I promise. And I'm sorry that I feel like I've been a little less active on my channel, not posted on the original days that I usually do. I feel like besides events, there has been very dry overall news in the combat sports world with Misfits, UFC, and pro boxing. There just hasn't been too much going on besides Conor McGregor crashing out. But I don't really know if I can make a full video about Conor McGregor punching people in the nightclub. I could probably yap about it, but maybe that's my video tomorrow. We'll see. I don't really know. But anyways, man, that's all I had to really say about this matchup. Once again, if you disagree with me, please let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys like the video. Turn on the... I really have to do one more take, please. But make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that. That all helps because I'm a small channel still trying to grow. I appreciate all of you, especially if you're still watching at that point. The retention really helps. I appreciate you. But that's all I had to say, man. Thank you guys for listening to me yap like usual. God bless every single one of you. And peace out.
Yeah, they call me fucking pain. You steady fucking switching, stay up in your fucking lane. And shorty super soaker, I can hit your ass from range. Shorty throwing ass and you knowin' where it going. Steady sipping codeine, yeah, you knowin' in my potion. That ass is like Cobra, cause you throwing it in motion. Oh, we fucking lurking, oh, we creeping around and roaming. When you fucking see me, yeah, our mouth is fucking foaming. Pull up to the club and we getting really